Hi, in today's video I'm going to be looking at how to write a formal letter, and I'll include a template and a copy of these slides for free on my Test account. So let's get started. So first of all, it's important to discuss what is a formal letter. So this is a letter that's been written for a professional purpose. Often this can be used as a form of proof or to give notice of something. So by form of proof, it would be kind of like you could give evidence that you have tried to contact a certain service, or you could give notice of a job that you wish to exit. And it's written in the first person, so that's written from your own personal point of view, and it's got words such as I, and it's usually directed to one individual, and we'll look at that in more detail in a second. Letters tend to be very personal. You write in the first person, and usually you write a letter with someone specific in mind, directly to one or more individuals, rather than an article or speech where you'd be writing to many people. So you use the word I quite a lot, especially if you formal means professional. So when writing a letter in this register, we want to stick to the strict layout guidelines. With that in mind, a lot of exams do accept when you put it all on the left-hand side, and we'd call this like the business format of a letter. However, if you're more traditional and you want to stick to the traditional layout, these are 5 steps for you to follow. So number one, we want to write the writer's address, and this goes on the left-hand side, so that'll be your own address. If you're doing this in the exam, I recommend making up an address, just as long as the examiner can see that that's an address, that's your address to write it. Number 2 is the person you're actually sending it to, so we call that the recipient, the person receiving the letter. So theirs goes below the next line, but on the right-hand side. Then number 3, below this on the left, we have a greeting, usually by last name, so using an appropriate form of address. So, it'd be like, dear sir, dear Mr., dear Mrs., dear doctor, dear Prime Minister, anything that kind of suggests their status and would be appropriate. Maybe even dear editor if you're writing to the editor of a magazine. Number 4 is an opening paragraph where you state your reasons for writing. And if you've watched our video on how to write emails, you find that this opening paragraph is very, very similar. We always tend to state the purpose in that first opening paragraph. Okay, then we would have our subsequent paragraphs where we kind of look at the detail and stuff like that. But I'm just giving you an overlay of how to do structure it in like a formal sense. Then number 5 is we've got to have a sign off when you say yours sincerely. So we've got all of our formal steps, but that doesn't include the subsequent paragraphs that you would use to organise your arguments and your reasoning. Okay, so this is the downloads. So if you find it helpful, you can look at this letter template that's free to download on my test page. And it's just exactly what I've said. I'd also include the slides of this and the checklist that I would use when writing a formal letter, all the things that I find important so that you guys can use it to help you with your own letter writing. Okay, finally guys, if you did like that, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment. If there's anything else that you want me to make a video on, please make sure you tell me, and I'll be happy to oblige. Okay, thanks for listening.